Good evening, friends.
Good evening, sir.
Professor Brahm Singh Horticulture Foundation, BSHF, a not for profit organization, and myself welcome you all to the talk number 19 of this series named as 4H Urban Horticulture for Health and Happiness. BSHF is thankful to Bayer Chemnis to sponsor this webinar series. I am happy to welcome co-organizers Dr. Peetam Kalia, ICR Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Awardee, former head Division Vegetable Science and coordinator School of Horticultural Sciences, ICR IRI New Delhi, and Dr. Shalendra Rajan, former director ICR Central Institute of Subtropical Horticulture, Lucknow, UP. The webinar today is on rooftop vegetable gardens for nutritional security in urban areas. So there are three aspects in this webinar: urban horticulture, rooftop vegetable production leading to the nutritional security. And the talk is by Dr. D.K. Singh, Professor and Head, Department of Vegetable Science, G.B. Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar, Uttarakhand. BSHF is thankful to Dr. D.K. Singh for honoring his request to speak on rooftop vegetable gardens in urban areas. His talk is related to urban horticulture on rooftop for better nutrition. With rapid urbanization, importance of urban horticulture can hardly be overemphasized. Out of the two aspects of urban horticulture, first one is the food horticulture and the second environmental horticulture. Dr. Singh will speak on fresh food horticulture, that is production of vegetables and fruits on rooftop, and that too on rooftop using both conventional or traditional methods of production such as organic horticulture and modern horticulture such as protected cultivation, soil-less horticulture, etc. in relation to nutritional security to urbanites. Dr. D.K. Singh would enrich our knowledge on roof gardens in urban areas for better nutrition. Friends, question can be raised in chat box which will be answered after the talk. Now I request my colleague Dr. Peetam Kalyaji to formally introduce Dr. D.K. Singh ji.
Okay.
Dr. Peetam Kalya.
Thank you, sir. Most respected founder and chairman of PSHF, Professor Brahm Singh ji, co-organizer Dr. Shailendra Rajan ji, and today's speaker none else than Dr. D.K. Singh, Professor of Vegetable Science. Dr. D.K. Singh, who will be speaking on rooftop vegetable gardening in urban areas and who is a very specialized expert in vegetable science. He is an eminent vegetable scientist and professor and head in the Department of Vegetable Science at G.B. Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar. Dr. Singh has had his graduation, master's and doctorate in horticulture and vegetable science in particular from the same university, G.B. Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, and he has had his IPGC from Israel. Dr. Singh has served to the position of Director, Uttarakhand Council of Biotechnology, and he has experience in teaching and research of more than 29 years. Dr. Singh has published 194 research papers, 59 popular articles, and he has 5 manuals, 19 book chapters, and 6 books to his credit. He has attended more than 74 national and international symposia, conferences, seminars, workshops, and he has been invited as speaker in various national and international seminars and conferences, and also has chaired and co-chaired different sessions. Dr. Singh has developed 18 varieties of vegetable crops and successfully completed 19 research projects and currently handling 4 research projects funded by various funding agencies such as DVT, DST, HTM, NAIP, ICR, NHB, UPCAR, etc. Dr. Singh has also introduced polyhouse tomato breeding and parthenocarpic cucumber breeding program first time in India and has released 4 varieties for the same. He has guided 15 master's students and 15 doctorate students. He has shouldered the responsibility of establishing Vegetable Research Center as founder, assistant director, and vegetable biotechnology labs as well as seed lab in the department he has established. He had also established high-tech research unit in different KVKs and research centers. Professor Singh served as Assistant Director in Horticulture Research Center and also rendered his services as Associate Director Research. He has actively been involved in project planning, monitoring of the university research system. Uh, to his contribution, Dr. Singh has been uh, awarded uh, with the various awards, fellowships, and honors by different organizations. And to name few, he has had a fellowship of Biobed, fellowship of Indian Society of Vegetable Science, Horticulture Society of India, and he is also fellow of International Non-Science Society. And besides that, he has been conferred by many recognition and awards like Shiksha Ratan Award, Puruskar, ICR Dr. Rajendra Prasad Puruskar Award for the year 2007-8. He has also had Guest of Honor by PAU, Scientist of the Year Award, Pioneering Work in Vegetables, Fellowship of various other organizations, and he has had Uttarakhand Ratan Award, AICRP Best Center Award, Guest of Honor Chandrasekhar Azad University of Agriculture he has had, and Eminent Scientist Award by ATDS Nepal. Besides, he has also been conferred with International Excellence Award by from Australia. Dr. Singh has had opportunity to visit various countries like Ethiopia, Romania, China, USA, Bangkok, and Kathmandu for various programs, scientific programs that he carries out in his field of research. So, with this introduction, I invite Dr. Singh to deliver his talk on rooftop vegetable farming in
Thank you.
urban
Good
areas.
evening.
Dr. Singh.
Good evening, sir. Uh, I am very thankful to Professor Brahm Singh Saab who has given me opportunity to share our experience in the field of roof top vegetable production and its nutritional quality. Today, I can share the slide, sir.
Please share.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just there. It's here. Sharing.
Yes, coming. Yes, yes. Make it full screen.
These are my topic allotted to me that is rooftop vegetable gardening for the nutritional security. So, because of present day, the very high pressure of insect pest diseases, if the farmers are growing the vegetables under open condition, the incidence is very, very high. And also, there are so many soil-borne diseases which are affecting the vegetable crops. And sometime I have observed in the field the production is farmers is harvesting very less production due to high pressure of disease. Considering another problem is shrinking of lands is also due to urbanization, industrialization, and other so many things. So ultimate, we should find out the other way of growing the vegetables in our country to meet out the our demand by 2030. And the present production of the vegetable is 195, and by 2020 235 metric ton. So we just need to search some alternative. For example, this rooftop is a very good option to grow the vegetables, particularly that is a so-called organic mode, because whatever the vegetables are grown on the rooftops, that is 100% organic, because there is a 0% disease pressure there, insect pest and other things. So first we need to discuss about the nutritional security. Consistent access of the nutritious food that promotes the optimal health and well-being for all throughout all the stages of the life. Here is a nutritional security is equal to food security plus diet quality and equality. So, food security and diet quality is a very important part of the nutritional security, and that needs to be provide equal to the our population. So here, 17% of the Indian, they are undernourished, and 50% men and 48% women has fat diets, and 60% men and women has less intake of the fruits and vegetables. So this is scenario what we have nowadays. So there is a need to provide the nutritious foods to all our population. Nutritional property of the vegetable which are suitable for the rooftop cultivation, and the factors calories in terms of calories: colocasia, corn, potato, Brussels sprout, onions, garlic, immature seed of broad bean, and peas. These are the vegetables which are having the very high calorie of the foods. Another important aspects of the our nutrition, that is a protein, and most of the legume vegetables having the very high quantity of the proteins. The crop like vegetable garden pea, garlic, and drumstick leaves. Similarly, vitamin A, which is a very important nutrients, and this the vegetables which are growing at the rooftop, like carrot, spinach, turnip, green palak, coriander, pumpkin, and tomato. They are all of the vegetables. They are having the very high quantity of the very high amount of the vitamin A. Similarly, vitamin B complex. Here are many vegetables like this pea, asparagus, and tomato. Vitamin C is very again important. Most of the cold groups vegetables and some of the cucurbitaceous like bitter gourds having the very high quantity of the vitamin C. Another this minerals, calcium, irons. Most of the all the leafy vegetables, they are having high quantity of the iron contents. and other rich nutritious vegetable crops which are grown at the rooftops of the big buildings. This brinjal is a very ideal crop which can be easily grown on the rooftop of the buildings. In the pots, broccoli, another important, which are having the very high amount of the nutritious. Tomatoes, potatoes, asparagus, peppers, carrots, cauliflower, cucumber, garlic, kale, onion. Onion, for example, onion having the very good amount of the phenolic and flavonoid compounds. Bitter gourd is a rich source of the irons. So these are the vegetables which can be grown easily in different media on the rooftops, and they can family can get the fresh vegetables to meet out such nutrients easily. So why does nutritional security matters? In fact, if a family is not getting the proper nutritious foods, so ultimately the illness or incidence of lot of diseases is very common. Imbalanced diet pattern causes malnutrition, which ultimately affect the high risk of the incidence of the diseases. Spending on a health problem has a negative impact on the if a family having the incidence of this severe diseases. So ultimately, whatever they are earning, the economic condition of the family become disturbed. So how will achieve the nutritional security, provide the nutritional support throughout the stage of the life. So we should plan to take the nutritious food in the form of the fresh vegetables throughout the life regularly. Contact, connect all the healthy, safe, affordable, nutritious food. Prioritize, equalize supply chain every doorstep of the consumer. So there is a need to proper distribution of the nutritious food to everyone who are with me, and developing translating for the effective nutritional science through partnership. So as far as cultivable area in India is decreasing, so we as a scientist in field of the agriculture, we should find out some other way for growing the crops under unexploited vegetables need to be domesticated and keep our part of our food. So why the rooftop gardening? Reduction of the suitable land for the agriculture, that has been discussed, and everybody knows the due to urbanization, industrialization, and other things where the lands are utilized. So ultimately, the agricultural land is reducing day to day. Reduce the urban heat island effect by adopting the rooftop cultivation of the vegetable and fruits. We can reduce the urban heat island effect, reduce amount of green gases, this carbon monoxide and methane, and these are the gases which are very harmful for our body. And by growing this rooftop, we can produce the more oxygen which are released by the plants, and they are also absorbing the plants carbon dioxide for making their food through the photosynthesis process. Provide more space for the agriculture. So if the rooftop of the buildings is utilized, so ultimately the agriculture area will be enhanced. Reduce and clean storm water runoff, that can be also reduced by the help of the rooftop cultivation. Reduce energy consumption, increase the beauty of the cities. That is again very important. So, what is a rooftop? In fact, rooftop garden, in any garden on the roof of a building, the practice of growing the vegetables or fruits or any other crops on the rooftop of the buildings refer to the rooftop vegetable gardening or rooftop vegetable gardening as well as the rooftop agriculture. So, in fact, if we are talking, if we see the international scenario of the urban rooftop vegetable gardening, this most of the developed countries like US, China, Canada, and again Spain, Italy, Germany, they have adopted this rooftop cultivation of the vegetable and fruit gardening is a very huge area. So simultaneously, the area for the rooftop cultivation is enhancing. Another way, this Germany again, Switzerland, Netherlands, they have a significant area they are utilizing for the rooftop cultivation. As far as in India is concerned, this Mumbai Port Trust stresses urban leaf is grown in 240 square meter area. Again, in Mumbai, urban leaves is 600 square meter area. Some of the good cities like the Bangalore, Hyderabad, Nagpur, Mumbai, Rohtak, and Tirupati. In these good cities, the resident they are adopting, they are utilizing the rooftop for the growing of the vegetables, fruits, and other plants also. So rooftop vegetable gardening, more demand of the vegetable due to increasing the why we go for the rooftop vegetable gardening. The demand of the vegetable is increasing due to enhancement in the population. Can grow in a small area. Land area is reducing due to industrialization. Soil is degrading due to excessive use of the chemicals, and soil condition is also become not good for the production of the crops due to infestation of so many prompt soil-borne diseases. One of the nematode is a very devastating problem in the soil, and most of the vegetables they are destroying due to incidence of the disease. Decreases the pollution by adopting this, because of the most of the pollutants are near to the city or inside the city. By the adopting the rooftop vegetable gardening, we can reduce the pollutant gases and decrease temperature. Temperature can also be controlled by putting the vegetation on the rooftop. Improved access to food and increase the income. So how to plants reduce the temperature? Provide an alternative common roof material reducing the temperature. In fact, when we are adopting this rooftop cultivation, we put the some bad some insulating material on the rooftops, so that helps to reduce the building temperature. Absorb carbon dioxide and sunlight during the photosynthesis. Whatever carbon dioxide is available in the atmosphere, that has been utilized by the plants which are grown on the rooftops. Create shade. Urban heat island effect is again a big problem. So that can be reduced by adopting the rooftop cultivation of the vegetables and fruits. So by this transfer of the heat, this can be by conduction, convection, and radiation process. The heats are transferred. Reflectors, material that change the direction of the light waves should be used on the rooftop. Insulator materials that reduce the rate of heat transfer, that should be put on the top of the roof. So steps of vegetable roof gardening. First, we should measure the area and design our what are the plants, what types of the structures we need to grow the vegetables on rooftop. Another is making the plans and then maintenance. Preparation means survey, measuring the available space, what they are available, and making the how many vegetables we will grow, in which media we will grow, what will be the design, and what types of the structures will be fabricated on the top on the rooftops, and its maintenance post production service in a short term. Constructing the rooftop garden. Suitability assessment of the roof. Use moisture blanket after pouring the gravels. So here these pictures, in fact, they are showing to prepare the platform for the growing of the vegetables on the rooftop, and also find out the what are the vegetables which are appropriate, keeping in view of the our length, our width of the growing media. So here is a extensive roof and intensive roof. In fact, extensive roof growing media depth is 150 mm or less, but in case of the intensive, more than 150 mm, accessibility often inaccessible, usually accessible, and full saturation bait is 48.8 to 170 kg per square meter. In case of the intensive, here is a more weight, that is approximate 250 to 1500 kg. Plant diversity low, here is a greatest. Cost low, this intensive is a little bit high. Maintenance minimal and varies generally because of this intensive roof gardening. That media, that roof is ready for the growing the fruit plants which are having not very deep root system, and extensive roof media which is very ideal for growing the most of the vegetable, because vegetables having the shallow root system. So depending upon the need, our plan, we can select the whether it should be extensive or intensive media. So model rooftop kitchen gardens. If you have the rooftop of 7 into 7 meter, so these are the plants. What are the vegetables? What are the fruit plants we can grow for around the year? So this is a plan for rooftop. So season-wise crop selection. In fact, crop selection is a very important part of the any production unit. We should find out we should plan, we should select the crops which are in accordance to the season of the growing. For example, this kharif crops, tomato, brinjal, and there are so many vegetable crops, including leafy vegetables and cauliflowers. These crops can be sown oblique transplanted from the month of June, and it will continue till the September. In during the Rabi season, October to January, again tomato crops can be grown, and most of this is a common. Kharif and Rabi season almost they are common crops. During the summer season, again because of the nowadays the varieties in different vegetable crops are available starting from the temperate to the tropical and subtropical, so that simultaneously you can grow the variety. Although crop is same, the variety is specific, which are very suitable for the kharif season, rabi season, and summer season. So throughout the year on the rooftop we can grow the tomato, brinjal, chili, okra, gourds, dolichos beans, including leafy vegetables, coriander. It can be grown on the rooftop by fabricating the small polyhouse structures or insect-proof structures or shed net. So these crops can be, some of the perennial crops can be grown in the intensive media which I have discussed here, where the media thickness is very high. So for that, this papaya, plantain, drumstick, acid lime, and coccinia, these crops can be grown. Perennial crops can be grown on the rooftops. So here, that is one of the data which I have received by this Gazbi. They have published this information by 2020. This if we have the area of 230 square meter of the rooftops and approximately 61.7 kg of the vegetables can be harvested, 30 to 35%, and these vegetables is fulfilling the requirement of if the family member is four. Amaranth, by using the containers, then container size diameter will be 9, 2, and 15 inches were used for growing of these crops. The amaranthus 3.2 kg, and simultaneously there are so many vegetable crops which are grown in the container of the different sizes over the rooftops, and total 61.7 kg of the vegetables are harvested. This including coriander. Coriander is again very important fragrant spice leaf, which is used around the years. Again, dolichos bean, onion, green radish, tomato, lemongrass, mint. So this is a model. This is a observation. Actual work is reported 61 200 from 230 square foot of the roof. So another aspects on the rooftop microgreens. In fact, microgreens are the young vegetable greens that are approximately 1 to 3 inches, that is 2.5 to 7.5 centimeter tall, and things are very important because this is a very rich very rich plants which are used as during the salad, morning breakfast, and other purposes. They have the aromatic flavors and concentrated nutrient content, and come in a variety of the color and texture. Microgreens are considered baby plants, falling somewhere between the sprouts and baby greens. Different types of microgreens. This microgreens can be grown from the many different types of the seeds. The most popular varieties are produced using the seed for the following plant families: Brassicaceae family. These are the cauliflower, broccoli, watercress, cabbage, radish, and these seeds are grown for growing this microgreens. Asticaceae family, lettuce, Apicaceae family, dill, carrots, fennels, and celery. Amaryllidaceae family, garlic, onions, leeks. Amaranthaceae, there are so many leafy vegetables, and cucurbits, melons, cucumber, and squash. Cereals such as rice, wheat corn, barley, as well as a legume like chickpea, beans, lentil are also sometimes grown into micro greens purpose. So here what are the benefits of the microgreens? Fast food, ready in a few days. Here I have mentioned some of the vegetable seeds which are converted into the microgreens after soaking in the different durations. It is varies from 8 hours to, to 2 hours to 8 hours, and sprouting time it takes almost 2 to 5 days. In case of alfalfa, barley 2 days, buckwheat, chickpea, and pumpkin seed. After sowing the seed, or after soaking the seed, within 1 day, pumpkin seeds are ready for the microgreen purpose. Then watercress seeds, almost 4 to 5 days is taken. Sesame seed and sunflower seeds. So these are the sprouting times, and here is a soaking hours. Then again, it is generally observed that this microgreens has 7 times more nutritional quality of then the mature consumable part of the plant. It is easily digestible, can be grown in home anyone anytime. That can be grown just by providing the congenial temperature and moisture which are required for germination of a particular seed. So precision farming in urban vegetable gardening. So another aspect which is very useful to utilize the roof gardens by adopting the hydroponics. Hydroponics, I hope it is a growing of the plants in a liquid nutrient solution with or without the use of the artificial media. Commonly used medium include expanded clay coir. In fact, why it is hydroponics is important because by the growing of the vegetable in the hydroponics, there is a 0% chances of incidence of the soil-borne diseases. And so here is ultimate. There is a 100% organic foods by the under the hydroponics we can utilize, we can produce. What are the advantage of the hydroponics? It can be used in a place where in ground agriculture or gardening is not possible, particularly in urban areas or in big cities where there is no land. So this technology, hydroponics, is a very useful to grow the vegetables, to grow the fruits, to grow the uh, so many vegetables to meet our requirement in organic mode.
Dr. Singh, you are not audible. Shivangi, please see to it. What's happening?
Unmute. And
Hello? Dr. Singh is not audible. What has gone wrong with Dr. Singh? Hello?
His connection is lost.
Connection lost. How to get the connection?
He is there, but he is mute.
But does he know he is speaking? He doesn't know that he is not audible. All problem because you are not audible. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही सर. सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है. हाँ, काइंडली.
अब आ गया, आ रही है सर आवाज अब?
हेलो.
हाँ आ गई
अब आवाज आ रही है सर?
आ रही
हाँ,
है।
आवाज आ रही है.
ओके सर, ओके सर.
अब कंटिन्यू करिए जहाँ छोड़ा था.
जी. So here, I sir, now voice is okay?
Oh yes.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sir, okay, sir. So what are the advantages of the hydroponics? It can be used in a place where the ground agriculture is not possible. In most of the urban areas, there is no place for growing. So that condition, this hydroponics unit can be established over the roof, and we can grow the crops. More complete control of the nutrient contents, lower water and nutrient cost is associated because there is a 0% loss of the water under the hydroponic system, because all of the nutrients and water, they are recycled. Faster growth due to more available of the oxygen in the root area. Elimination or reduction of the soil related insect, fungi and bacteria, because there is no use of the soil in the hydroponics system of growing the vegetables. Much higher crop yield under the hydroponics system. No weeding or cultivation is required. There is no need of the weedings and other intercultural operation. So these are the advantage. Crop rotation of leaf transplant suck um, is a 0% probability. These are the advantage. That is why the nowadays the hydroponics cultivation is area is enhancing. So success story, one of the ex accountant, sir is आवाज आ रही ना? हेलो हेलो, फिर डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया क्या?
नहीं नहीं डिस्क आवाज आ रही है
आवाज आ रही
आपकी,
है।
थैंक यू,
Okay sir, okay.
कंटिन्यू
In
कीजिए।
fact, few of the success story which is in India, ex accountant uses the hydroponics to help thousands of the farmers increase their profit 35%. One of the Gujarat person, Mr. Praveen Patel, launched a biohydroponics, a venture that has helped thousands of the farmers in Gujarat pursue the farming through hydroponics, thereby increasing their income and yield. Another success story, hydroponics is touching great height as Chennai man grow 6,000 plants in a just 80 square foot space of the roof. How hydroponics farming helped me earn rupees 54,000 per month right out of the college. One of the students, young boy, Mr. Sandeep Kannan, they have uh, just after the graduation, after getting the proper training, they involved in growing the vegetables in hydroponics media, and also they have started the startup on this. These are the few success story which are available in India. Dutch bucket system. So this is again a, a part of the rooftop growing of the vegetables. That is a Dutch bucket, or we can say the Bato bucket system. Dutch bucket system used growing the growing medium for the hydroponics crop. These buckets are filled with the different growing media like cocoa peat, clay, and other things that holds the root and provide the good aeration. In this system, nutrient solution are mixed with the water, which is then supplied to the roots by the drippers. It also gives freedom of setting a timer, supply the required amount of the nutrient. So here is a sensor. If sensor system is installed, so ultimately everything become the automatic system. So here it Dutch bucket system, how we are growing the crops on the rooftop of the buildings. So here is just by taking the pumps and putting the some of the this bucket and growing media and plants. So for this Dutch buckets, most of the leafy vegetables and tomato is very ideal. Here again, I would like say there is a 0% loss of the water and nutrients, because whole of the things are recycled again and again. So how does Dutch bucket works. There is a one large bucket reservoir that hold the waters. Again, it is a use of the different pots by help of the growing media and utilizing the nutrients and water by pumping system. So, which plants are ideal for Dutch bucket farming on the rooftop of the buildings? Can grow large vining fruit crops or any plant that requires high amount of the nutrients. So can be grown. Cucumber is a very ideal because this is a trailing type. One or two plants of the 4 5 plants of the cucumbers, if they are if they are sown or transplanted in a different pots, that will be sufficient. They will acquire the space. Pepper, potato, squash, and pole type bean. Almost by looking this, except potato and cucumber, most of the vegetables which are climbing type have the habits that is very ideal for the this Dutch bucket farming. So tomato are the most common growing vegetable crops for the Dutch buckets. So again, there is a another new area for utilizing the rooftop of the buildings. Aeroponics. The aeroponics system is probably most high-tech types of the soil, less agriculture. Again, here is a 0% chances of the incidence of the diseases. In aeroponic system, root hang in air and nutrients and water is misted quickly to the root system. The misting is usually done every few minutes. In aeroponics, growing media is primarily the air. High aeroponics. Round the year, we can grow the crops. There is no need of the particular temperature. Fast plant growth, easy system maintenance, less need of the nutrients and water because most of the things they are utilized. Most of the things like this nutrients and water by the mist system. Under the mist system, very less amount of the water is required. Requires little space and high yield. No transplantation shock. There is a 0% mortality. Easy fruit harvest. Again, because there is a not involvement of the any media. So just we can pick the fruits. Disease-free production. What are the advantage? Aeroponics technology give high yield with the less space requirement. Plants can grow closer together. Fruits, this technology save water and it's cut down water consumption by 98%. By the use of this hydroponics, we can reduce the requirement by 98%. Plant consume more oxygen under the aeroponic condition. More oxygen equal more plant growth. Planting and harvesting can be done throughout the year. So here is again a work is done by the Dr. Chandra. So how many percent of the yield advantage in different vegetable crops if the crops are grown on the roof of the buildings or a field condition. FG indicates the field growth or field condition plant. AG which are grown on the aeroponics condition. So, for example, Vasil. Vasil is an important leafy vegetable crops. In field condition, yield is 326. But in aeroponics condition, 388. Again, chard. Again, it is leafy vegetables. Almost there is significant higher yield. Parsley, there is again significant 342 and 414. Red kale, that is almost doubled yield. In fruit crops, fruit vegetable crops, bell pepper, almost 1.5 times higher yield. In cherry tomato, there is significantly higher, almost 500 quintals more yield. In cucumber, again there is a 400-500 quintals more yield. Squash, almost double yield under the aeroponic condition. So this is a slide pictures which is showing how the potato is used, and CPRI Simla has done a excellent work, particularly in aeroponics condition for the production of the disease-free tubers or tuberlets. Plant are grown in a turf or other type of the chambers. Root are hanged in the air or sprayed with the nutrients, easily absorb nutrients in air, and less chance of the root diseases because there is no again touch of the soil. So why again another aspects of the to utilizing the roof of the building in particularly in urban areas, protected cultivation, because on the roof we can fabricate the so many types of the net house, poly house, and shed net house for the production of the crops. Crop could grown under the constant climatic condition by putting the temperature control system in greenhouse. Complete environment is controlled, so ultimately we can grow any crop anytime. Any vegetables can be grown around the year. Early nursery, that is again a very good business in a urban area. If we are producing the very high quality of the nursery by adopting the plug protest system, higher productivity and quality produce, efficient utilization of our agricultural inputs. These are the advantages of the vegetable protected cultivation. Therefore, again, protected will be the quite effective. Protected cultivation will be the quite effective techniques for utilizing the rooftop of the urban areas for production of the fresh vegetables. So these are the another. There is a again disease insect pest pressure is less. Reduction of the involvement of the labors, we can save there because there is no weed control. Uh, hand, weedings are required. Hardening and hybrid vegetable seed production we can done, particularly the crop like this capsicum. Capsicum is a very important crop, and we can use the polyhouse or net house, shed net for the production of the hybrid seed. Protection against the heavy rains, hails, and birds. Sometimes most of the vegetables which are grown in a field condition, which are damaged completely due to heavy rains. But by adopting the polyhouse technology, we can save our crops from the so many natural hazards. So, how much percentage of the yields are increased under the protected condition in comparison to the open field condition? This is information of different vegetable crops. Almost, for example, in tomato, 252% more yield under the field condition. Sorry, under the polyhouse condition. In capsicum, again there is advantage, almost 200% yield advantage. In cucumber, 1300% because of the uh, this presence of the F and PC genes. These two genes has been exploited for the production for the development of the parthenocarpic cucumber varieties. So due to that, here is a 13% yield advantage. Muskmelon again 175%. Brinjal, earlier the brinjal crops is not preferred for the production of the production of brinjal under the protected condition. Due to some of the company, they have developed the parthenocarpic brinjal varieties. So ultimately now it is again very ideal crop for the production under the protected condition, and the yield advantage is 369%. In okra, chili, radish, cabbage and cauliflowers is again cabbage is there is again 215%, almost 200% yield advantage. Due to these percent of the yield advantage, that can be very quite effective technology for adopting the growing the vegetables on the top of the roof in the urban areas. So these are the vegetables which are very ideal for the production under the polyhouse condition. Here, if we see the scenario of the Parthenocarpic cucumber varieties, only few varieties are available in India, in which two pioneering varieties which are first time developed at Pantnagar, Pant Parthenocarpic cucumber 2, Pant Parthenocarpic cucumber 3, and very recently IRI Pusa has developed Pusa seedless cucumber 6 and Punjab Naveen by the PAU. So yield potential of this our variety Parthenocarpic cucumber 2 and 3, there if we are comparing with the monoecious cucumber which I have developed, this Pant Sankar Khira 1 varieties, there is again the yield advantage of almost 3 to 400% more in comparison to the monoecious cucumber varieties. And the one thing is also I would like say here that due to lack of the appropriate variety for the for the polyhouse cultivation, the adoption of this technology rate is less in comparison to other country who had the breeding program for the polyhouse or greenhouse varieties is established, and they have developed so many varieties which are very ideal for the protected cultivation. Therefore, they are harvesting. For example, Israel is harvesting 4,000 quintals yield under the polyhouse condition, but in India there is only 2,000 or 1,500 quintals yield. So these are the fruiting sequence which variety was developed at Pantnagar. So this I would like also say here that this variety is also recommended very recently by the ACRIP trials. They have recommended for the production under the protected condition at national level. So to here is some of the tomato varieties which are well fitted for the production under the polyhouse condition, but most of the varieties from outside and only few varieties from the indigenous variety tomato is available. Here is again the Pant polyhouse hybrid tomato 1 and 2. They are giving the 202 almost 250 times higher yield than the Naveen 2000 varieties from the company. So here is just see the fruiting sequence of the tomato, the variety which has been developed and recommended by the ICRIP trials very in the 2021. So here is a crop view at the Pantnagar uh, experimental area, the Pant polyhouse hybrid variety, Pant polyhouse hybrid tomato 1, very fantastic fruiting behavior. So another good thing is biofortified varieties can also be grown at the rooftop, and some of the varieties which are developed by our scientists, particularly cauliflower variety Pusa beta Kesri 1. It is developed by the Dr. Kalia Sahab. From the IRI, sweet potato, again, Bhuneshwar Sona, having the very rich quan- amount of the beta carotene. Sweet potato, again, it is from the high anthocyanin content. And pomegranate is a fruit crops which are having very high content of the iron and zinc vitamins. And all these varieties is biofortified, and that varieties can be utilized to grow or to produce at the rooftop of the urban areas. Organic vegetable productions, there is a lot of scope, and whatever the vegetables we are growing or anyone is growing over the rooftop, that is 100% organic. So just I have received some of the slides from CISH Lucknow. They have also grown some of the vegetables at the urban rooftop area and particularly in Lucknow. So this slide I have received from the Dr. R.A. Ram, who is a principal scientist there. They have done some good work, particularly for the growing the vegetables on the rooftop. So these are the broccoli, and they have also produced the tomato. So this rooftop they are also utilizing for the production of the good nursery. Again, this brinjal, bitter gourd, and smooth gourd is a very ideal cooker beds for growing at the rooftop of the urban area. There another is a bottle gourd. Bottle gourd can also a very good ideal crop for growing uh, in rooftop, just by installation of the some staking structures. So this is a very good crops which are grown in rooftop. Again, is a bottle gourd variety. Bottle gourd again. This rooftop cultivation of the round bottle gourd. Again, this is a bottle gourd. Just we see the fruiting behaviors of the round top bottle gourd varieties. So this is brinjal. That is again ideal crops. They are growing over the rooftops in Lucknow condition. Another lemon just by putting the big basket over the roof, and this lemon can be grown easily on the rooftop. This is a crop of the smooth gourd. Another is a chili is a very this lemon beans and smooth gourd and these things. Here is some of the fruit crops. They are grown over the rooftop of the buildings. So again, it is some of the fruit plants by putting the some huge structure. This guava, lemons, and other fruit crops can be grown. So this is a satputia, chili. Just we want to conclude that our lectures in an uncertain future of the climate, because nowadays shifting of the climate is a very uh, not good for the agriculture, and also simultaneously increasing the population, reducing the agriculture land. Rooftop vegetable farming is viewed as a sustainable and scalable approach to improve the food security by producing the vegetable and fruits, and taking fresh vegetables. It is many focus on the local food production, hence well suited to enhancing the food security in cities and reducing the impact. As the population of the India is growing at very fast, by 2050, we become the most populated country in the world. Hence, there is a need for a few innovative strategies for increasing the production of the vegetables by adopting this hydroponics, aeroponics, and protected cultivation. Urban rooftop is a new efficiently used for the cultivating edible vegetable plants. Several tons of the produce could be harvested through the rooftop gardening of the horticultural plants. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. DK Singh, for such a very exhaustive talk. Anyway, I will come later
Ji.
to conclude this. Now I request Dr. Uh, Shalendra Rajan briefly just highlight the points which he has mentioned in his talk. Kindly highlight it.
Thank you very much, sir. The topic of Dr. D.K. Singh was vegetable gardening on the rooftop in the urban areas, specific to that. And he has very well narrated the benefits, how we get from the rooftop gardening, why it is required, and what are it is a and given example how is it alternative way for the traditional cultivation of the vegetables. He indicated how it is organic. We can consider it organic, whether it is organic certified or not, but we can consider it as a organic cultivation of the vegetables. Then role of different vegetables in our, particularly in for our health, how those are providing the which type of vegetables are providing calorie, then vitamins, proteins, nutrients, and some of the important these nutrients like calcium and iron. He has also mentioned that some of the vegetables are rich in the fibers, particularly dietary fibers, and suitable crops for the RTG, that is a rooftop gardening, has been beautifully exemplified. Then substitution of the this agricultural land, how the rooftop gardening can be befitted there. Examples we have seen and benefits which we are getting, particularly with the rooftop gardening, also has been given in different ways. Particularly, he has given the mechanism of urban heat island effect. That is being explained. What are the the steps for the planning of the rooftop gardening? How we can maintain? What are the factors to be considered, like design of the how to design, how the structure should be, what media has to be used. These all things he has given some indications. Then the he has given the extensive or the intensive roof gardening, the differences and the characteristics of both type of gardenings that are that should be understood as per the species which we are going to use for the rooftop gardening. Then different types of models which are there, which can produce about a model example of 7 into 7 meter. He has given how the it is producing the yield, and the season wise crop selection has to be done. The varieties which are specific to the season, those can be used, and examples are there how much the vegetables are used can be produced per unit area. Also the size of the containers for the different types of crops, that has been also examples were given. He touched upon the microgreens also, types of the suitable families, different plant families, vegetable families which can be used. Interesting fact was that how much time is required by the microgreens after the soaking of the seeds. That was important. And the hydroponics, he has given an exhaustive introduction to that, the how it is. And but the indication is that in rooftop gardening, the vegetables can be grown, and there are several farms, vegetable farms are coming with the hydroponics on the rooftop, and success stories have also been given. Agroponics also has been touched upon and compared with the field open field cultivation of the vegetables. Then protected cultivation in rooftop gardening has also been indicated, how the rooftop can produce you the year-round cultivate these vegetables, as well as the he has indicated the off-season nursery can be produced on the rooftop, that can be shared with several of the people from the colony or the people who are interested in that. This may be the one of the important features of rooftop gardening networks. And the varieties for the protected conditions he has very well narrated, particularly and given more emphasis to the Pantnagar University bred varieties. But some of the examples have been given; those are suitable for that. And at the last, the varieties which are fruiting that some of the varieties which he has shared uh, from doctors R.A. Ram from CASS, those are excellent. He is doing excellent work on the organic cultivation of the roof vegetables on the rooftop gardening. Several structures he has made. He has shared those slides. How prolific bearing we can have in the bottle guard. Because some of the varieties developed at the Narendev in Agriculture University, those are doing wonderfully there. Some of the lemons and some other crops which can be very well grown as per the requirement of a family on the rooftop. We are thankful to Dr. D.K. Singh for sharing all this information, which is important for the people who are interested in doing the rooftop gardening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajan. I request Dr. Kalia to just supplement if he has got 2 3 points on this subject.
Okay, sir. I think moderation has been done very nicely. Entire uh, prospects of presentation of Dr. D.K. Singh has been narrated in a nicer way. But as far as the nutrition security program, which Dr. Singh has targeted that this rooftop gardening will help in achieving nutritional security, which is good. And also, as he has mentioned, that most of these crops are nutritionally rich, and everybody knows that. But nutritional profiling of all these crops, which we recommend for rooftop gardening, which is expected to be entrepreneurial aspects in future, as many youngsters uh, who would have attended this talk must be looking forward in cities, especially where there is opportunity for making profit, making money by entering into rooftop gardening, not only for one's home consumption, but for the adjoining working families also one can grow these rooftop crops. But most of the youngsters and the new generation, educated generation, look forward what nutrients they contain. So it's important that we highlight what are the important nutrients in each of these crops. Although Dr. Singh has narrated in detail uh, what happens if there is a deficiency of some nutrients to us and what are the crops which are rich in vitamins and minerals in general. But specifically, today the word of nutrition to know that which varieties, that new varieties coming up, which minerals, which vitamins they are especially rich in. And that's how the people are looking forward, and which is important aspect as people are now aware of that pigments are correlated with the nutrition, and from that point of view, vegetables are also said to be as uh, naturally biofortified crops. Dr. Singh has mentioned some of the biofortified crops, but we need to have many more such crops. And Dr. Singh himself, who is a professor and head of the Department of Materials Science, can get this program initiated in his department at Pantnagar, so that the new varieties, whatever comes for protected cultivation or for microgreens or for open cultivation, they must have set nutritional profile, so that when variety is released, it should be known in what nutrients and how much nutrients they contain. So that is the requirement for future. I hope the Dr. Singh will implement this program, and the talk was quite good, and I understand that the farmers and the entrepreneurs have been attending, they must have been benefited. Thank you very much, Dr. Singh, for the nice talk.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Kalia. Now, on the screen, I see the question from Big Shot, Dr. Harishankar Gore, who was Dean at IRI earlier, now Dean at Sarda University, and had been Vice Chancellor at the Agriculture University, Meerut. His observation, Dr. D.K. Singh, are
Yes, sir.
very valid, and I agree with his information and his practical experience, and happy that he is growing vegetable on the rooftop. It means our topic is justified when person like Harishankar God is growing on the rooftop. But coming to his query, he is right. Various disease and insect do appear, whether it is a rooftop garden or some other garden. What Dr. D.K. Singh was referring while dealing with the hydroponic and soilless production of vegetable, that the soil borne diseases won't be there, which is a matter of common sense when we are not using the soil. So soil-borne diseases, and he made mention of that root knot nematodes, a major problem in vegetable crops. With hydroponic, that's not there. So I think this is the question. Shivangi, is any other question there? If any other question is there, kindly display.
Okay, sir. So
Uh,
there's this question only as of now.
Acha, only question. Okay, thank you. So I think, friends, we had a very interesting topic, and I think we are right to choose the topic rooftop garden. Dr. Singh has enlightened us the scope of roof garden, and which will become a necessity in the future because the expansion of the cities, and in how many ways the roof can be used for raising perishable foods or fresh foods, which he has given a proof by showing these slides from, I congratulate Dr. Rajan from his institute. He has given the proof of that, what sort of a produce, whether it is fruit or vegetables, you get it, whether you grow it organically or inorganically or whatever way you are growing, but there are potentials. Then he made a mention of protected cultivation. If you have got the sufficient area on the rooftop, you can have the net house, poly house, or even the greenhouse, and you can enjoy the protected cultivation, which he has narrated in detail. What I want to add, with the point which he has missed, he kept in mind only the residential buildings, rooftops. Rooftop, whether the individual house or the multi-story buildings, the rooftop he has mentioned. But we have got large number of public buildings, government buildings, or community buildings. The area available on that rooftop can be utilized and will be utilized and is being utilized in some cities for commercial production of some of the crops, and there is a huge potential, and I think that will become a, I think, common thing in the years to come. And the point which he has, I think, forgot to mention, by having the rooftop garden, you impart excellent training to the children, and they get educated how the vegetable or the food is grown. That is another advantage of this rooftop gardening, or whatever way we grow the vegetables. So, friends, topic was the urban areas, they are swelling. So their fresh food requirement is if coming from the long distances, that won't be possible, or that will be expensive, and moreover they won't be fresh because traveling long miles is difficult. You can't have all refrigerated van and all sort of thing. It becomes quite expensive. So the fresh food is to be grown nearer to the place of consumption. And I think in some of the talks we have mentioned that you can grow these fresh vegetable even in the kitchen on your dining table and all that, microgreen, etc., which he has also elaborated and talked a lot about the microgreens. So it is better to have the fresh food in your house, whether it is a kitchen or some other area, backyard, or whatever it is. window garden or whatever terms you use it, or the roof gardens. There is a distinct possibility of having fresh foods in urban areas with the good nutrition qualities. That was the, I think, we wanted to convey, and Dr. Singh has nicely narrated the story, giving the examples, success story, and whatnot. So, with these words, I thank Dr. DK Singh profusely for covering the topic and touching upon all aspects of rooftop garden, and he has come up with the proof that these are the how the excellent crop can be taken up. And I'm thankful to Dr. Rajan and rather congratulate him that his institute's work has been referred by Dr. D.K. Singh, which he has guided, Dr. Rajan guided, being a director of that institute, one can understand. Dr. Kalia, he has added to the nutritional aspect, which is very important. And there is no purpose of having a food without the nutrition. The nutrition and its availability. That's what we always keep in mind while organizing a talk, or we request the speakers to talk on those lines. So I think overall it was an excellent talk, Dr. Singh, and I'm thankful to you all and those who have attended and those who have reacted. We are thankful. Uh, as usual, BSHF will come up again on the next Tuesday with some other talk. If the flyer can be displayed, it will be good. The flyer for the next talk. Anyway, that is on riverbed cultures. It is there. Riverbed cucurbits in and around cities of India. We are concentrating on urban areas because fresh food availability is going to be a big issue if we don't timely attend to it. A source of health and happiness. So, friends, thank you so much.
Thank,
We meet again next Tuesday, same time, 7 p.m. Uh, Thank you so
thank
much.
you. Good
Okay,
night. Bye bye.
good night.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
night.
Good evening.
Good night.